Yo. Yo.
What's good?
What's cracking, man? Welcome back to In The Mix podcast. I'm your boy, Ant.
I'm your boy, Dane.
Hey, shit, man. And we just starting the podcast. Man, when we start this podcast?
Shit, we start this podcast to just really, not for any specific reason, just to share our thoughts, because we be having conversations all the time, man. That's just like, we feel like our conversations need to be recorded and they need to be heard by other people, because they could not only entertain other people, make them laugh and just, brighten their day, but also give them some knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Let them hear our point of view and also share their point of view, through comments, feedback, etc. So we want to hear y'all feedback and stuff like that on all the topics that we talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now that's crazy. This world is changing every day. Shit is getting, I don't want to say worse, but it's getting crazy. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. We just, even before this, like 5 years ago, we just have conversations all the time that we be like, man, this needs to be recorded, because either it's hilarious or it's super knowledgeable or it's super deep or philosophical. So yeah, that's why we started this podcast, to inform the masses of our conversations.
Facts. Yeah, I feel like we started it, just because we got a piece to something that the game missing. I feel like we got opinions, we got our own takes, we got our own way of thinking, and I feel like it's a way that the world hasn't seen yet. I feel like if we spread that with the world, I feel like it'll change a lot of lives, but also it'll bring a lot of humor, a lot of lighthearted situations to people. You know what I mean? It's a lot of depression going around. You know what I mean? I seen something today, actually. I seen the joint where 50 Cent, he was talking to Big Boy. It's like 6 months old, but he was talking about like how depression is a luxury.
Man.
And like how when people going through something, most people don't even have a chance to really deal with it. They just got to go ahead and do what they got to do because they got responsibility.
Ain't no choice.
Yeah, so that's basically what this podcast for, to bring a little joy to the world, but bring our own takes. We in the mix, you know what I mean? And, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. But, so how your week been going, bro?
Shit, my week been good so far. I've been having a pretty good, productive week. I've been getting back on things, been, putting myself back into position to win. Because I haven't been doing that lately. I'm not going to lie. I haven't been holding myself accountable. But lately I have been. So, that's how my week has been. How's yours, bro?
Man, just, finding some things out about myself, doing a little bit of a research on like some things that I have had trouble with, some things I had success with, but also like practicing consistency and continue to make small adjustments, not trying to do anything big. Because sometimes we psych ourselves out by just making a major adjustment and not really knowing how to, come back from that. The first day, it's like going to the gym. Like the first day, you go lift 150 pounds, and then day 2, you gonna go back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Facts,
so like,
facts.
I'm just trying to do the small adjustments and follow my dreams, follow my heart, but also get the business done what I need to get done.
Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah, tell them a little bit about yourself, bro. Like, where we from?
So we're from Buffalo, New York. It's a small town in New York. We know for a lot of things, though. Even though we're a small town, it's getting bigger. And, our not tourism, but a lot of people are coming here now. We're starting to kind of be put on the map through, like, pop culture and stuff like that. But we also have the Bills here, you know what I'm saying? Go Bills. That's our team. Been repping it my whole life, so can't never say we switched up. You feel me? Through the hard times, through the Trent Edwards, we've been there. But it's also a lot of stuff that goes on in our city that a lot of people don't know about, like segregation. Our city is heavily segregated. Like, I'm talking, on this side, you got people that's starving to keep their lights on. And on this side, you got people that don't even think about stuff like that. Like, that don't even enter it wouldn't enter the inner matrix within 100 years. They never had to worry about stuff like that. And it's literally a street separating these two kinds of people. And it's segregated in other ways too, but that's just a little bit about our city and, some of the things that goes on. We want to talk about it because we feel like we both of us have experienced both sides of that spectrum at one point of our lives, and we can provide input from both sides.
Yeah, you said. Man, you pretty much knocked it in a nutshell. Pretty much, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, we on the other side where we got the lights on, obviously. You know, we blessed, but
lucky.
You know, but yeah, bro, that's pretty much what we got going on. But yeah, bro, I wanted to talk to you about the Gunna situation and all the things that's going on in hip hop, because you don't just got Gunna anymore. You got 6ix9ine.
Man.
You got Boston Richie.
Man,
I'm hearing, according to 1090 Jake, I feel like Rich Homie Quan was in there somewhere.
Dang.
Which hurt, I didn't know about that. Yeah, that hurt me because, Rich Homie Quan, I feel like he better than Thug.
Damn. Oh. Damn, I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, like, you know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I know how you,
Yeah, bro, because think about it, bro. Rich Homie Quan, at one point, he was hotter than Thug. I feel like because of his label situation, because of what was going on in the streets, I feel like, they say it's a lot of things, a lot of politics behind that. Yeah. I feel like Rich Homie Quan didn't get his just due. He was beefing with Future when he first came out. Future said he stole his sound. Then him and Thug, had their odds. So I feel like now he's starting to get his shine, oddly enough, when Thug going through his situation. But
yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like it's a lot going on in the rap game right now. And honestly, you said this earlier off camera, but it's just like people don't. The masses at least don't care about street cred, and like no one cares that your name means anything in the streets anymore. You don't have to have a street name to be a rapper anymore. It's not like how it used to be. You don't have to really.
But did you really? Like, was
always,
it the persona of the rapper, or was it actually them having the street cred? Because like the real people who do have the street cred, they end up either dying or going to jail eventually throughout their career.
Yeah.
And the one, not to say like all the ones who haven't don't got no street cred, but.
Yeah.
I like 50 Cent, for example. We all know 50 Cent got a lot of street cred in Jamaica, Queens, and all that.
Yeah.
But look at all the things he had to go through.
Yeah.
In the midst of his career.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like you had to have gone. Like, look at all the top rappers that was really on. They all was really like Biggie. So we already know what Biggie did. Tupac, we already know what he did.
They said Tupac really wasn't a street dude. They said Tupac was just a very powerful dude because of his parents.
But he still grew up in the streets.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't call Tupac a street dude. I feel like he was surrounded. Like, I don't want to even do that comparison because I feel like that would be wrong. But almost a Drake in a sense. Drake is surrounded by a lot of street dudes, but he's not a street dude, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The
only difference is Drake doesn't embody the street life.
Yeah.
But, like, Pac, like, took it on.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't, at least that's what they say. I wasn't there,
Yeah, it's not like, it's kind of like that's the appeal he gives off. So I guess I could understand what you're saying. But it's like, Tupac gave off an appeal that you just felt what he's saying was genuine. You know what I'm saying? So when he rapped about the thug life shit, it just made you feel like, oh, I could understand. I could relate to this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I could, when he rapped that, he made you feel like that. So whether he was in the streets or not, I can't verify, to be honest. But he did grow up in the streets and he saw a lot of the things. So I feel like his capacity for empathy to people that were in the streets is very high. Because a lot of the things he talked about, changes. Dear Mama.
But those was more the struggle. That wasn't the street. Like, for instance, like, back then, Ice Cube would be considered gangster rap.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Pac had two different sounds. What's the difference that you've seen in yourself being in a relationship, a serious relationship, and you just being single? Like, what's changed?
I mean, first off, it's more of a responsibility for sure. Like, that's what people fail to realize. They want a relationship these days. I feel like a lot of people want a relationship, but they don't want the responsibility of one. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions when they do certain things. They want to still be able to do certain things that you can't do when you're in a relationship. But yeah, it's a responsibility for sure. But one that I welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because I learn and I grow from my partner, and she learns and grows from me. And not to make it seem like everything is perfect, because we definitely go through our ups and downs. We go through our things, but it's just about knowing that I feel like I feel like this generation is prone to giving up easily because everybody feels like, oh, if someone won't do it, another one will. If someone won't do this, another one will. Or if someone doesn't have this, someone else will have it. And to an extent, that is true. But that doesn't mean give up at the slightest thing. That doesn't mean give up if they don't text you back fast enough. That doesn't mean give up if they not telling you what you want to hear all the time. Because sometimes that's what it's about. Your partner is supposed to hold you accountable and tell you things that you might not want to hear all the time. That's what having a partner is for. That's what having friends are for, truthfully. But as a partner, it's just on a more romantic level and a deeper level, to be honest. Because you would tell your partner things that you would never tell your friends. And this is my friend right here, and he'll know that too. Like, it's things he's told his girl that he'll never tell me. And it's things that I've told my girl that I'll never tell him, just because that's things to be shared between certain relationships and certain friendships. You feel me? But that doesn't lessen our relationship in any way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that you just understand without even having to tell. But like I said, you'll tell your girl things that you won't even tell your friends. So they have to hold you accountable to a certain extent. Now, to be on you behind and just telling you do this, do this, do this, shut up, do this, nah, that's a different level. If they doing that, keep them to the curb. That's not right. But holding you accountable, like, babe, I didn't like when you did this, and you being able to accept that feedback and move forward and adjust your actions accordingly. That's what a partner is for. That's how you learn. That's how you grow, and that's what I feel like me and my girl is able to do. And that's why I'm not just going to give up at the slightest thing, or even some major problems that we've been able to work through, because we're not two people that just give up, and that's just in any facet of life. So yeah, I feel like that's a big thing. Stop just giving up on your relationship so soon, man. And stop giving up over the smallest thing. Like, if someone's cheating on you, of course. If someone's not giving you the love and affection that you deserve over an extended period of time, of course. Because then they're not, they probably won't change. Truthfully, that's just how life goes sometimes. You have to let them grow and decide to do it on their own. But you can grow with a person. I just want that to be known. You can grow with a person. It's possible. So don't just be so quick to give up. Just, hold out a little longer. And if it end up not working out, that's fine. You got the rest of your life to work it out.
I mean, I feel like people just got to know what growth feel like. You know what I mean?
Man.
People don't know what growth feel like. They feel like growth is supposed to be catered to their feelings and how they, growth is not comfortable.
No.
And in a relationship, I feel like you got to have a lot of grace, a lot of forgiveness, and being able to know that, your partner going to make mistakes. They human, and it's things and barriers that they probably never crossed before with prior partners or ever. Mm-hmm. And they might cross them with you because they just never, it's unfamiliar territory. And at that point, you just got to have grace. And I'm not saying stick around for somebody that's treating you wrong or not really, or you feel like it's not going anywhere. And, because at that point you're hindering them as much as you're hindering yourself. But I feel like you got to have a lot of grace, and what's fatal is never final. So when things hit and things hurt, you got to, instead of just tapping into, because I feel like a lot of, like nowadays, I feel like as soon as somebody get hurt, like, yo, I'm done with them because they scared of having that embarrassment.
Mm-hmm. Everybody got their guard up.
Yeah, everybody got their guard up, but everybody cares about what other people think from the outside.
Too.
But what really matters in a relationship is you two and what you think of each other, the respect you have for each other, the companionship you have with each other. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to give that grace and, and be able to forgive, because you want that same grace and forgiveness to be given to you, because we are not perfect. We not going to always be on the right side of the field. You know what I mean? Sometimes we might go left, and, it might take somebody to forgive us to continue something, because you can end something great by looking at something that was just temporarily bad. Mm-hmm. And, that's, I think that's a big thing. And I feel like everybody living in comparison, bro. Comparison is the thief of joy. I feel like everybody looking, social media, they looking at their homegirl, their homie, and seeing what they got, and y'all don't see the skeletons that's in their closet. You don't see the problems that they have behind closed doors. You see the
picture perfect.
Exactly. You see their highlight reel, and when you see their highlight reel, of course it looks great. Like when you look at Reggie Bush highlight reel, you be like, yo, he's the greatest running back of all time. Yeah. But then go watch a full game of him, and he might have 2 fumbles. Mm-hmm. And you be like, dang, like this is not the Reggie Bush I seen on film.
Yeah.
And of course he looks great because he's showing you all his greatest plays. But Reggie Bush has had horrible plays. I remember him getting blown up, but when he played for the Saints, He took one of the craziest hits I ever seen in football. But the Reggie Bush I know would have juked that. And that's in that example. I'm saying the same thing with relationships. You can't compare. You can't think about, oh, well, I seen him do this for her, or I seen her do this for him, or I seen how she looks at him, or I seen how he moves with her.
I deserve better because of this and
because
that.
That may not be what your relationship needs. Every relationship is different.
Facts.
And that doesn't just go for like relationships with your grandma, friendships. That's your mom, your dad, everybody, because you're not gonna be able to talk to your dad how you talk to your mom. I can't talk to Jordan how I talk to one of my other mans because we don't got that. We different. You know what I mean? We might understand each other on a whole nother spectrum versus what they thinking. Mm-hmm. So like, I feel like that's the biggest killer today in relationships is social media and people looking at the available options that's not really available.
For sure.
The unavailable options, I should say.
Exactly.
Because and self-image is down. Like everybody was looking at themselves and they not happy. That girl who looked like Coi Leray, but beautiful in the face, she going to Miami to go get a BBL because she seemed delicious, but. And I feel like, if that's what you want to do, great. But I mean, you looked beautiful before you went and did that. You know what I mean? You could have got the man of your dreams without that.
Ruined yourself. Like,
you
could. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Natural is the best.
You damn near did.
Yeah, natural.
Because
how you was made.
Because Coi Leray is a beautiful girl. Coi Leray wouldn't look good with a BBL. She wouldn't. Her persona is great, just how it is.
Exactly, and it fits her. You know what I'm saying? She
and I
loves
hate
her body.
That sounds like I'm comparing right there, but like, love your body type, love yourself.
The general message is just be you, love yourself, love your natural body. You was born with your body, and you developed into your body the way it was supposed to happen. I'm not the biggest dude. I'm not the strongest dude. I'm not the tallest dude, but I would not trade my body for no one else's. Because I'm me and they're them. I have gifts and I have a purpose that they don't have. And that's probably why my body is made the way it is. When you start bringing unnatural elements to your life and to your body, you won't be happy until you feel like you're perfect. You fit their body. If you want to
do that to your body, feel free. I'm not,
if you genuinely feel happy like that, it's not going to affect me in any way. All I'm
saying is it's not needed.
It's not needed, exactly. You're beautiful the way you are.
If you contemplating because you feel like you need that, you don't need that. We ain't gonna preach to you.
Don't let anybody make you feel like
we just
need
in the
that.
mix.
Now, if you just think you need that and you want to get that, and you think that's really what's gonna make you happy, by all means, go ahead. It doesn't affect my life in any way, shape, or form. But we just want you to know that how you are right now is perfect, and I wouldn't want you to change it for the world.
Speaking of, sexy, organic, and regular individuals, Sexy Red is by far my favorite artist right now, bro.
Man,
that's
Sexy
my
Red,
favorite artist right now,
she's
dude.
Doing it, bro.
I promise you.
She's doing it. Like, she on another level right now.
So, okay, who you think at the top of the female game?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'll give you a top 5 right now. Top 5 right now? Me personally, I'm going to say probably Lotto is at the top right now. Like, I'll say she's number 1 because she got more views right now. But in terms of hotness, Sexy Red for sure. So I'll go Lotto. Just in general, I'll go Lotto, Sexy Red. I'll probably go... Who else?
I ain't even going to cap. Not even to disagree with you, but... Matter of fact, yeah, to disagree with you. Lotto really... Her views don't climb the same.
I mean,
as Sexy Red. Like, Sexy Red didn't need a Cardi feature.
That's true, yeah.
Like, Lotto had the Big D Energy song and all that, but that was a Mariah Carey joint. Everybody heard the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Like, we got excited because of that. Like, but as far as, like, Put It on the Floor was a hot, like, don't get me wrong, that's like one of my favorite songs of the summer.
Yeah.
But it didn't climb the charts the way it did until she made Put It on the Floor again.
Yeah, that's true. The Cardi remix definitely...
The Sexy Red, Ski Yee, that joint just went...
That joint did go crazy.
Or again, like a week later, it was at 4 mil.
Yeah, that joint did go crazy.
Like, and she's all by herself.
That's all her, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact, and it's definitely an advantage to doing that for sure, but...
But Lotto don't got to take Keith neither.
She don't gotta take heat, yeah.
See, Sexy Red came out with one of the hottest produced. That's the thing about the rap game.
And she got a lot of endorsements too. It's not just like, yeah, she don't got the features in the songs, but like, or the people on the songs, but she got a lot of endorsements and a lot of media hype now.
But the songs is what gave her those endorsements.
That's true.
Like,
That's
okay,
true.
the same thing with Lotto. Put It on the Floor gave her the endorsement. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it took Sexy Red getting hot to get a Drake cosign, to get a Travis cosign. Wasn't nobody really thinking about her until she made, like, she got songs that people ain't even really playing like that, but got 2 or 3 million views, like Female Gucci Mane. Mm-hmm. That's probably my favorite.
Hellcat SRTs. Yeah. Sexy Red is definitely doing right now. She probably my personal favorite, but I would still just put Lotto over here right now. I feel like Sexy Red is going to pass her, but I'll put Lotto number one just because she's been in the game, not in a rapper aspect for so long, but she's been in the game longer in general. She's been around hip-hop for a long time, as, you know, she's dated a few rappers. And that just off that alone, and she got a Cardi feature. That's still, we're not going to act like that's still not, like, a big thing. Sexy Red don't got no Cardi feature yet. She might get one. But, you know what I'm saying? She don't got that yet. And she got a Glorilla feature, too. So it's like, you know, but Sexy Red definitely is probably the hottest female artist right now. I'll say she the hottest for sure. In general, I'll still put Lotto at top one, truthfully. Yeah. I like Sexy Red, though. Don't get it fucked up. She's my favorite.
I'm going Sexy Red, Glorilla,
then
Lotto. Because Lotto is hot. Don't get me wrong. She got the song of the summer so far. And that's debatable, though. Because Ski Yee took over and Hellcat.
I still think Put It On the Floor is still bigger than both of those.
Put It On the Floor is a hit, though. Like, that's a massive hit.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, so,
that's why I put her over, because it's still a bigger song at the end of the day. It's still a bigger song. Like, Put It On the Floor is everywhere. And then Cardi hopped on it, so obviously it just went suit. And now it's, you know, national. But Ski Yee is like, it's like hot. It's hot, and it's more hot in the streets than anything, though. It's not as hot worldwide like that. It's getting there, though, because Drake co-signed her and all this other stuff. It's getting there, but it ain't reached there yet. And she on tour with Moneybagg. I feel like she got it. If she do things right, she gonna pop the way she needs to. Oh, yeah. Because I feel like Lotto put in a lot of groundwork these last 2 years. She did. That's the reason why Lotto was getting the success. Lotto was on tour like all last year. She's on tour again. Yep. She's dropped project after project. She had that huge hit. Yeah, the Big D Energy. That was a big. That was a huge hit. That was a massive hit. So, you know, that's really all you need. And it was by herself. And it was exactly. She didn't need none of that. I ain't gonna say I was the biggest fan of the song, but it was a hit. You can't deny that. It went crazy. Yeah. I couldn't stop hearing it even if I wanted to. That's how you know something's a hit. I never forget, me and Bae was driving back from Columbus, and I heard that joint on the radio. That ripped me out the plastic. I've been acting brand new. I was like, oh, hold on. He went crazy on that joint, bro. The girls is low-key spitting better than the guys, bro. I feel like the only guys right now that's really popping is Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and Cole and Kendrick ain't even dropped yet. Travis had an okay album. Travis, he had a decent album. But Travis has never been a top-notch rapper. You know what I mean? So he's always been more about a sound. He got his own lane. Like, he in his own lane. Uzi is not like the rapper that we not like how he used to be. Yeah, so like Moneybagg was a disappointment. Moneybagg's album was But then again, he did say that was a mixtape. He said that was a mixtape, and that he was. You know, so I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, you know, too much on him. Yeah, because his last couple projects have been good. His last project was massive, bro. That went number one. That was his first number one, and I think he just got off tour for that. Yeah. Who else dropped this year? T Grizzly and Sada dropped. Yeah. That was an underrated project. That was an underrated because they went tough on that joint. Like they told us a couple stories on there that was like, oh, and they was going back and forth with it. They definitely, you gotta look out for them for sure. They ain't popped yet. Did they drop in May? It had to be May or June. If he dropped in May, he got lost in between the drops because Dirk dropped in May, YoungBoy dropped twice in May, Moneybagg dropped in May. You know, so the baby dropped in May because he dropped a little baby package. Hell yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I know because that one song will Offset that the baby got. Which one? Bruh, I forgot what it's called. He was like, I was just serving my junk.
Yo, he did the New Jack City theme video.
Oh yeah. Bro, someone said this online, and like I know y'all be hating on the baby and stuff like that, but I fuck with the baby. You know what I'm saying? He a tough rapper. He did. I ain't gonna lie, he did start kind of falling off when he started to do the different stuff. He could have honestly just stuck with his flow and kept all his popularity and all that stuff. And the women hate him because of certain things, but the baby is a good rapper. You can't deny that. He's a good rapper.
Hey man, let's just keep it a buck, man. The only reason why they got mad at the baby was because of what he said against the LGBT. He didn't even really say nothing against them.
Really
it's how they took it.
It's how, yeah.
And
that's just how it go.
Like, his downfall was very calculated.
Yeah, it was. And then everybody started hating on him on Twitter and stuff like that, and the hate still persists to this day. But one thing they can't say is the baby was a good rapper. The only thing people say is, bro, all his songs sound the same. All his discs sound the same. That just means you didn't listen to him, though.
They don't.
Because they don't.
They don't.
At all.
He a lot of his hits don't even sound the same anymore. Like, he still has that bop type of vibe, but his beats are totally different. He don't even use the same producers half of the time. And the dude is immensely talented. He's producing all his videos. He directed Moneybag's video for F My BM. Like,
and that's what I was saying in the first place. They said he might be better off as a director than a rapper.
I think he is gonna switch over to movie
because his videos always been fine. That's how he blew up in the first place. He's such a great director, and he know how to bring fun and creativity to his videos.
Well, I give a lot of that to Real Goats, because Real Goats really
embody
his whole style.
But I feel like he definitely, because it wasn't just with Real Goats. Like, he brought it to every video he was in. Remember that video with him and Stunner where he was like being like the Fresh Prince in that mansion? That was fire.
That was Real Goats.
That was fire. It was? Oh, see, I ain't know.
That was
but
Real
still,
Goats.
though, I feel like he be the one coming up with the ideas. Because he make a song and it goes with the video. Like Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
He made that song before the video came out. But even in the song, he said, he was like pointing to something, and it was like, it wouldn't make sense without the video.
Oh, dude has an ill pen. I'm not taking anything away from bro. Dude has an ill pen. And I feel like he's going to be back on top of the game, because that Shake Some song is out of here. And he just put speaking of Sexy Red. Sexy Red was on the remix. Yeah, so it's like, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it's there.
He just need one fire project, for real. That's it.
I feel like it's coming, because he did the 4-pack. He always dropped like a little 4-pack before he come in. He's probably one of the most consistent rappers since 2019.
Nah, facts. Because he hasn't even amidst all the controversy and quote-unquote controversy and hate.
Yeah, he hasn't
missed. Been dropping. Like, he been dropping the whole time.
And he hasn't missed, though. Like, I can't honestly say it's a bad DaBaby album. Now, maybe it was a couple songs on there I wasn't rocking with, but I don't think he made a body of work that was bad. Nah. Another person that needs to really get his act together, bro, is Dirk, bro.
Dirk disappointed. He disappointed me to the utmost with this last. I'm gonna keep it a stat. He really did, because it was maybe 2 songs on there. Besides, because I'm not a big fan of All My Life, Screw or Sue Me, whatever. But I just don't like All My Life. So besides that, it was like 2 songs on the album that I genuinely could say I'm gonna listen to after that. That's it. And that's crazy, because what was it, like 21 songs on his album? Like,
that's the issue. That's the real issue with the music industry right now, bro. Yeah. I feel like, and that's why Baby is having a problem that he's having. Y'all putting too many songs. Y'all making compilation albums, bro.
They doing it for the streams, though.
Yeah, but how many streams is you gonna get if you make 10 great songs or 20 ass songs?
Yeah, like,
I ain't even gonna be.
And they don't even gotta be ass. It's like, if you making songs that's mid, even if they decent, they're gonna get one listen and that's it. You have to have songs that have replay value. That's where streams come in. That's where the stream money really comes from. Because people are still listening to Nothing Was the Same. People are still listening to Forest Hills Drive. People are still listening to Mag or Good Kid, Mad City to this day because of their replay value. Those songs are getting hundreds of thousands of streams every month, and they dropped 10 years ago. 10 plus years ago. And that's because it's a good body of work, and it's not oversaturated. How many songs does Nothing Was the Same have? Like
13.
13. Forest Hills Drives had like, what, 14 maybe? 13, 14, maybe less. And Good Kid, Mad City had like 16. So like all those are under 16, and they're all great quality songs. You can't listen through that whole album and say it's a bad song on there. But you can listen to a lot of albums these days and pick out at least 10 bad songs. And there's 20. So if half the album is already bad and the rest of the songs are mid, no one's going to be listening to your album. And that's what people don't realize. They're trying to go for streams, and that's why people are dropping deluxes right after dropping an album. Because they have to keep their streams up. Yeah. That's not how it should be. In my opinion, I feel like you should just drop 10 to 14 amazing, good quality songs that embody you as an artist and embody your personal perspective on what you went through, and that's it. And then people will fuck with it and listen to it. I promise you. Even if your sound sounds so unique that you think people won't like it, I promise you, bro, it'll catch on. Because people love unique experiences. They relate to that. Even if they can't relate, I don't relate to Drake at all. That's why I love Drake though. That's the funny thing. I don't relate to him at all. All he talk is cash shit, being rich. He grew up in the suburbs. He, Jewish. I really don't relate to him at all in terms of my experience and what I went through in life. Part of me grew up in the suburbs, but not really. I only went there on the weekends. That's why I could say I've seen that life and I've seen the other side. But he grew up in it. That's a different thing. So it's like I can't really relate to him, but his music is real, so you have to feel it. He not talking about anything he didn't live. You know what I'm saying? He might hint towards things like doing certain things, but he'll never talk in specifics about stuff he did not do. He'll get with specifics about how he feel about how his aunt passing, or how he feel about his mom being sick and him growing up trying to get it. He'll go in specifics about stuff like that, and that's when you really feel it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the rap game just needs to focus on quality over quantity, because the quantity is really messing up the game right now. And that's why these people like Dirk and Baby, they can't sell out. They can't sell their tours. But you see, I just saw a post on Twitter about 50 Cent selling 840,000 tickets within 4 days.
Yeah, he sold
600,000
the first 4 days of tour, 840,000 in the last week.
Bro, and that's off all his own work.
He's touring off an album that turns 20 this year, by the way.
Quality over
Busta
quantity.
Rhymes touring off of an album that turns 20 this year, by the way.
And I promise you, in 10 years, Drake can do a Nothing Was the Same tour, and he's gonna sell out arenas.
Well, Drake just broke the record for the most tickets sold or most money made from a concert in
with
USA.
That It's All a Blur tour.
Nah, with this tour, he just made
That's what it's called.
It's called All a Blur.
It's All a Blur. That's what it's called. Yeah,
it's called. He made $5 million each night in DC this last weekend.
And he was doing what? Old tracks, not tracks from his newest thing. He might have put one or two, but he did 1 to 3 tracks from each of his older works, and he made that money. He made the most money he's probably ever made on tour. And how many dates did he do? Like 5? He might have did like 5 dates in total. So it's like it's showing this summer more than ever. It's showing that quality is more important than quantity. So that's my message to rappers out there. I know I'm not a rapper. I know I don't know what's hot right now and all this other stuff, but I don't know, man. Just from what I'm seeing, the real facts, it's looking like quality is winning. So that's what I would say focus on for sure. Just make something quality, something that'll last. Only real shit is going to last. All that other bullshit.
Yeah, you got a lot of people who can't. Like they said, Baby had to roll back some of the dates on his tour. Moneybagg had to cancel. And they have quality people on their tours. Like, what's the kid that Lil Bibby signed? The white kid. He's a good artist. It was him and Juice WRLD. The Kid Laroi. Kid Laroi was on Baby's tour, and I think Glorilla, and they weren't able to sell out an arena. And then you got Moneybagg, Sexy Red, I think it's Big 30 or it's YTB Fat. And it's a lot of artists on Moneybagg's tour, and he had to scale back. And he had to scale back. So that means that the fan base, but you can attribute that to the harder times that we in right now as far as the economy and everything. Yeah. And then you got Rolling Loud booking all of these artists anyway, so they're able to see these artists at a lower price, and they can see them all in the course of 3 days. So if I spend $500, I can see all of y'all versus me spending $200.
And seeing,
like what, 2 of y'all?
Yeah, that's a fact.
So like, you know, I feel like Rolling Loud has a big problem within that. That's the reason why that people can't sell out their joints, because they're doing all these
And that's
festivals.
why some people's not doing Rolling Loud now. Like some artists aren't even doing it anymore. But I mean, for artists that don't have an established, foundation, it's smart to do it because you're gonna get paid, you're gonna get to perform. You ain't gotta perform too long, and you're gonna still get the exposure from Rolling Loud because Rolling Loud is such a big event with so many artists. Like you're gonna get your music out to people that normally wouldn't hear it.
Is rap dying, bro?
Bro, it's hurting me, man.
Or is it just a dry spell? Because I don't know.
It might just be a dry spell, but it feels like it's really.
I don't know if you remember, but because we were young at the time, but that in between period from the Soulja Boy era to about when Drake came out,
yeah,
it was a period in there where we weren't. I feel like Lil Wayne was pop. Lil Wayne
was definitely.
Lil Wayne Carter 3 was the only thing that was really significant at that time, and maybe the Kanye and 50 feud, but the Curtis flew off the charts and then died quickly.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say rap was dead, but it was a dry spell.
It was dry for sure.
It was a dry moment in hip hop, and then you had
Drake,
and then Kanye came back with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Mm-hmm. Then you had Wayne with the Carter 4. Like, it was like a big load up. Nicki Minaj came out. Like,
Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
It was a big load up of artists. Waka Flocka and Gucci, and like I feel like that all was a part of that, but in the midst of hip hop, it was like a dry period in between there.
It definitely was.
Now that I think about it, this might be the driest period that we've had.
I think this is the driest period in hip hop ever, for sure.
Because I just named, man.
And it's not even dry in the sense that people aren't dropping. It's dry in the sense that nothing good is dropping.
Yeah.
Like.
But no, think about it, bro. All our artists that was supposed to be hot right now, they're either dead or in jail.
That's a fact.
Or they can't perform, or they've been releasing too much music. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Like Dirk, I feel like Dirk has had a great run, but this was supposed to be King Von's time.
Low key.
This was supposed to be like Dirk was gonna ride on the back of King Von in his career for a minute, and he was gonna be like the number one guy out of OTF.
Yeah.
You have Young Thug and Gunna. You know what I mean? Gunna is still out making music. I feel like he's still I feel like he's still at the top, even though he has a lot going on the back end of things. I feel like people lying though.
What you mean?
Like some people not listening to Gunna because of what happened. But come on.
Oh yeah.
Come on, dude. He ain't charting for no reason.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Most people, I don't listen to him personally.
I do.
But just because that's just how I think. But most people are listening to him, bro. You got to think, most people aren't in the streets. You could try and uphold, and I'm not saying I'm in the streets either. These are just the values that I hold to myself. You know what I'm saying? If me and my mans get caught with something and he don't own up to it, then, you know what I'm saying? I'm still not going to say nothing. But that's on. We won't be friends after I get out. Or we won't be friends after the trial. That's just how it go. That's just how it go where I'm from, and that's what I was raised to believe. It might sound dumb to some people, and I understand that. I understand you believe in that, but I can't change what I believe because of what you believe. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I hold to myself. You know what I'm saying? He got involved with YSL, knowing what it was. He knew what was going on. He chose to get involved, and he chose to sign. He should have known this was one of the outcomes. I'm not saying he was killing niggas, but...
Do you think it was a bigger plot in that, though? Like, and I don't want to make no excuses for bro. But I'm saying, like, in Gunna's song, he said the DA and the prosecutor tricked him. And I remember Boozy saying this.
I feel like it could be, but that's why we got to wait for what Thug say. That's why I'm not just sitting here saying Gunna snitch. But, I mean, he did snitch regardless.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, but, like I remember seeing Boozy say that. He was like, yo, they will pitch y'all against each other.
Yeah.
Or make you feel like, yo, this is okay because dude said this on the other end of it. Like, the lawyers could be... Because, the lawyer want to win the case, bro. The lawyer's job is to get you out. They don't care about how and all that. Yeah. So, like, their client went home. They succeeded. They won. They got you to get the plea deal. They got their money. Everybody's happy. You happy. That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So, is it a possibility that you think that in that room, they could have been telling Gunna something that they wasn't telling Thug?
Oh, for sure.
Because they already... Because it seems like they're just on a witch hunt for Thug anyway. It don't look like they really want anybody else.
They don't. And I definitely... Because when you in that room, they will tell you anything. They will straight up lie to you. Yes, they will lie to you to get the information that they need to convict the person that they want to convict, whether it's you or someone else. And in a case that's big like this with this type of media hype, of course, I definitely think they probably lied to him, told him something, and tricked him. I do think he probably got tricked. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take away from the fact that he said what he said willingly, and he said what he said. So until or if it never happens, until Thug says something, we I have no choice but to speculate, and I can't continue to, in good conscience, listen to his music knowing what happened so far. Now, if Thug was to come out and say, like, yeah, I told him to take the plea deal. You know what I'm saying? I told him, like, I don't call him a snitch.
Is that still
if Thug don't call him a snitch, I'm not going to call him a snitch, even though he still did snitch.
I was about to say, because isn't he technically
it still is snitching, but
if
I wouldn't call him a snitch.
If we going by the code, you know what I mean? Even if, that's like, what's dude name from Atlanta?
Who?
Who got caught with all the weed? The rapper.
Caught with all the weed?
Not Wallow. Wallow from Philly, my bad.
I don't know.
That nigga, dog food. What's his name? Rollo.
Oh, Rollo.
It came out that Rollo paid somebody to take the John Foreign, and basically he said dude did it, but he paid dude to take the bid for him. So dude agreed to it. Oh. And dude got paid off in a sense. That's how he got less. You know, that's what 1090 Jake.
Technically, it still is.
You know, because that's what 1090 Jake. Allegedly. I'm not gonna put it out there and say that.
If that did happen, if that did go
so is he technically still a snitch? Because he lied to the police in a sense. It's just like he lied.
He did lie to the police, but he basically told them what he did, but he said the other dude did it. Yeah. So it's still technically snitching because someone went to jail behind it. If someone goes to jail behind it, if someone winds up being in jail because of something you said, something that's documented or something you said in court, whether you was testify or not, it's still snitching. You still told. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing is, it's not snitching if you just a civilian. If you a civilian, you did what you were supposed to do. The criminals was just sloppy. That's what that means. They got caught. Word. You didn't snitch. But the only reason that people are calling it snitching, one, because Gunna is a rapper, and even though he's not a street nigga, he got involved with something that he knew was more than just rap. He got involved and chose to sign, not knowing whether he would have to be involved or not, or probably thinking he wouldn't have to be involved. Mm-hmm. But either way, that's what you signed up for. So in my mind, and even if you didn't sign up for it, Thug is your brother. Called your brother. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if that was truly your man's, if that was truly your brother, you wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have did anything to put him behind bars like that. You know? I don't know. I can't subscribe to that idea. So in my mind, he still told on his brother, and I can't get down with that. But I have no problem with anybody that listens to Gunna because the masses are civilians. Most people are civilians, and in this country, that is how it's supposed to go. If someone does something illegal, whether they're your family, your brother, your mom, your sister, I would hope you wouldn't tell on them, you know what I'm saying, because you care about them, but you're supposed to. That's what the law says you are supposed to do as a civilian. You're not a street nigga. You're not a hood dude. You don't subscribe to these type of principles. And you shouldn't, truthfully, because I'm going to be honest with you. In the past, it has had a negative correlation with our communities that people don't want to tell, people don't want to snitch, and that's why these things are able to go on. Because people don't want to snitch, people don't want to tell, people don't want to get in other people's business, and that's just the culture that we have cultivated in our communities. But in reality, if more people would call the cops and depend on them, the cops would be around more. That's the truth of it. The reason why cops are so slow to respond is because no one calls the cops for anything anyways. You know? And not to just put all the blame on us. It's not. It's partly on the cops too, and on our cities too, for sure. For sure. It's like a 50-50 thing, but we can't expect them to change before we change our mentality. And that's something I'm still realizing. But at the end of the day, it's more of a brotherhood thing to me. It's not like a criminal organization. It's like if we did anything together and one of us sold each other out, they told. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. So that's how I look at it.
That's why I make it important to say, yo, if you're really not ready for that,
don't get involved in any way, shape, or form.
Because me, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm a civilian. I'm gonna keep my way out of the street.
I'm a civilian as well.
I'm not moving.
I got hood tendencies, but you feel me?
I'm moving a certain way just off the strength because I know, number one, I'm gonna stand solid for my brothers, but I don't want to have to get in that scenario.
And I would never put my.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
It's not even really about the snitch code. I feel like you don't want to see something like, for instance, some of my dogs, they got kids, bro. You know what I mean? If we get in the gym and like, I don't want to take them away from their kids. I don't even want them to be in a scenario where I would have to make that decision. So me, I'm gonna stay away from that. Stay
out of it entirely, and that's exactly what I say. Everybody should.
I feel like nowadays, Black culture is starting to become crime culture.
Yeah.
Like, and that's scary. Because even Meek was on a panel the other day and he was talking about how they get paid more to say more ignorant things. But yeah, like, are you taking the bait or are you taking the money? Like, are you really gonna stand up there and be like, oh, I need to make this money to feed my kids, but you're gonna endanger thousands upon millions of other kids because they look up to you?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, is the dollar worth that? You know, and you got a lot of people out here making a decision for the dollar, and they throwing, like, Young Miami doesn't want her daughter to be a city girl.
The city girl. Like, it's kind of crazy.
It don't make no sense to me. Like, I'm like,
but you already made the action.
Why would you want to exemplify something that you wouldn't want the next generation to be?
And that's a bigger issue too, because I feel like as parents in the Black community, it's more of don't do what I do, do what I say. But that's not. You gotta lead by example. Kids follow what you do. They don't care about what you say.
That's like saying don't smoke no weed, but you blowing ganja in the house all day.
Monkey see, monkey do. It's not what you say. It's what you do. You have to provide an example. And that's the biggest issue in our communities.
And you got to provide an environment. I believe an environment changes everything.
Environment, facts.
I believe the reason why most of our kids nowadays, most of the youth nowadays, period. You know what I mean? They survive out there like it's the jungle because the environment is like
that's what they've adapted to do.
If you change the environment, you change the heart. You change the people. You know what I mean? And you change the youth because you start with the youth, you'll change the world.
Because truthfully, people like us, people that grew up in the hood, we, not to make it seem like everybody's just the same, but bro, we're anomalies. Like, truthfully, we're anomalies. And it's sad to say that. I really wish I could say that that's not the truth, but 90%, like 70% of the people out here, bro, it's just not looking good because they can't even see past what's their surroundings. They're too worried. I got to pay the bills tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep the lights on. I got to do this. So if I got to go rob somebody, I got to go rob somebody, even if it's my brother. Even if it's the guy down the street that don't bother nobody.
It's crazy.
If I got to go up in somebody's house to feed my kids, I'm going to do that. And I understand that side too. You know what I'm saying? I understand that side, but at the same time, we shouldn't have to do that. We should try and make an honest living and try and do, we got to exhaust every option before we choose to do something like that. And even then, reach out to people that you know what I'm saying? Reach out to people. They might be able to help you. You don't even know. Our culture is one that's afraid of asking for help too. Yeah. It's so many issues, man. It's so many issues that we could go on and on about, but
because we never taught to be ego or prideless.
Pride is everything.
Pride is everything, but it's also
it's
also the death of everything too. You know, our egotistical value is what,
and that's a problem.
Is what really brings down, families, bro. And honestly, I ain't even gonna lie, because the youth is not being heard because they're disrespectful if they speak out. The adults are not being heard because they don't respect the voice of the adult because of what they see the adult doing. So it's like
you can't say one thing and do another.
It's hypocritical.
You can't see things differently until you do things differently.
And I feel like there's not an empathetical value anywhere in that household, and I feel like that's why we going pretty deep, but that's pretty,
yeah.
but that's I feel like
that's
that's
a part
the
of the reason why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
That's a bigger, you know what I'm saying? Not to get too deep, but that's a part of the reason
we
want to provide
deep
change
in the
too.
mix.
Yeah, man, it get deep in the mix for sure, man.
Nah, I sent the video to you. I want you to watch that, dude. I want you to see and read that. I want to get your take on it. and it's gonna be on the screen too, so you guys gonna be able to watch it too.
Before we think of things to say, before we dive into our most inner thoughts, let's get the fucking out the way. See, for me, bad dick is a deal breaker. No matter if you're smart or you're fine, so before I invest my energy into you, I need to know if it's worth my time. So we might fuck soon as we meet. Once, twice, maybe 3 in a row. Then if that chemistry is there, we can begin to get to know. Because the pressure of leading up to the physical is something that I can't take. In the past, I done made the mistake of investing in men that can't make me shake. So I need to know if my body can fuck with you. Before you're introduced to my spirit, because if you want to talk after you failed to make me come, I ain't even trying to hear it. See, with most women, they pussy is their only possession. They make men work before they lay, be selective with who they let touch their bodies, but then give their hearts away. My prized possession is my energy, too. This vibe is rare to find, so you can penetrate my body before you get into this mind. And the best things about me have nothing to do with the things that I can do with the bed. I might let you get into my drawers, but never let you get into this head. Plus, I've seen it too many times, these women that want to make men wait, thinking that playing a good girl role will somehow guarantee their fate. And then once he get what he want, he going like a thief in the night. And your asses be DMing me crying, talking about, Kara, I did everything right. As women, we make sex this huge ordeal when that's not always the case. Because sometimes it is about starting the future, but sometimes it's just about riding his face. And if you get sex out the way early on and he doesn't ghost or get distant, that means he wasn't just trying to use you for sex. He might actually be consistent. Because if you fuck him and he changes up, then you know what he was there for. But if he stays around, then it's possible that it could mean something more. But someone told me I have to be very careful with who I let in between my thighs because it's never solely physical when you factor in them soul ties. But here's the thing. Regardless of what you've been led to believe when it comes to men, they don't automatically get access to your soul. You have to invite them in. So I could fuck you till the sun comes up and let you into deep in my lady parts, but having access to this pussy don't give you access to this heart. And I'm not trying to minimize the power of that physical connection, but I'm also not about to act like giving him your heart is the same as giving him an erection. Because this perception of equating love to sex is a mentality that is dated. Yes, we've tied the two together, but they're not naturally related. See, someone could love you from the best parts of their soul and never want to lay you down. And a man can want to do all kinds of nasty shit to you and not want you to stay around. So this idea that sex has to be something special is a rule that I can't fathom because sometimes I want the love, but other times I just want an orgasm. And that doesn't make me heartless, nor do I think guys are only good for sex. I just don't put too much pressure on that part. I'm more concerned with what comes next. So here's to the grown-ups doing grown-up things. Everybody can't relate, but if you're single and you're open-minded, I'm down to fuck on the first date.
Okay. First off, fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire. But I think she said a lot of things that are very, very meaningful, and I think she spoke on something in another problem in our communities that's killing our communities in terms of relationships. Basing your relationship on sex will never, ever work.
Bro, I was just about to say. I was like, dog, I really hope that bro ain't about to say what I think he said, but you said the opposite, bro. That's the problem right now, my nigga. Like, that is exactly.
I've done it. He's done it. We've all been there, bro. My nigga,
you will never graduate to love from lust. Yeah. You will never do it, bro.
If you base your relationship on that, that's all it's gonna be.
First of all, it's like a what is it called when you talking in circles?
Cycle.
It's an unbreakable cycle of just damnation, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it. You saying that before you let a person into your mind, before you become intimate with a person, you'll do an intimate act. So the sex is gonna be ass either way.
Either way.
Because it's not gonna hit the same versus when you feeling somebody. I'm sorry. When you feeling somebody, it's gonna be a whole nother experience because mutually your souls are collectively coming together.
And girls will vouch for this too. They'll have a dude that got the big, what's the name, and they'll do all that. They'll have the strokes and all that, and they'll be able to have all that. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be great. Yo. But then there's nothing to it other than that. When you have a connection with somebody, a genuine connection, it don't matter, bro. You're gonna reach that point regardless because you become so attracted to them because of the way they treat you, the way they carry themselves, and the way that y'all souls connect. That part is gonna come regardless, literally. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's gonna work. And I know a lot of us in our communities haven't experienced that yet, but You have to stop basing it on sex only.
I feel like we've reached a point in our society where sex is the main topic of everything.
Everything.
Like there's no, and that's
you can't
the reason,
go nowhere without seeing sex. It sells.
That's the reason why that people feel drained. That's the reason why people feel empty. That's the reason why people haven't found some. Like you got a lot of people out here who looking for a companionship but don't want the responsibilities
that
like we talked about earlier from the companionship. Yo, you saying that you're not gonna let a man take your brain? That's the first thing a man is supposed to get is your heart and your brain. Because if you're not thinking about the man, if you're interested, if you're not interested in the man 24/7, if you don't want to talk to the man, or like
they want the sex to make them want that. That's the issue right now. They want to be compatible sexually instead of be compatible spiritually, emotionally, financially.
Honestly, that's how you get Keke Palmer situations, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fact.
That's how you get a Keke Palmer situation. You get a girl who doesn't respect you, you know what I mean, or respect the relationship that you have. And I don't want to say she doesn't respect dude, but they don't respect the relationship that you.
She don't.
Because, bro.
Bro, come on. Let's just be real. Let's be real, bro.
Because I was watching that 85
From what
South
she was
show.
wearing to what she did, like, come on. She don't respect
I'm going
that
to keep
man.
it a buck, dude. I've talked to multiple women, and women is not going to just do that if they have a man at home that they love and respect.
No.
But we don't know.
Some girls wouldn't even think of doing that, bro.
The reason why I ain't going to touch on that too hard is because we don't know what transpired prior to her getting to the concert.
That's true. He could have did something.
He could have did something, or they could have had the wildest argument and she was just being spiteful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or she could have really just freaked out because, you know, girls really do sensationalize their childhood stars.
That's true.
But in the same token, it's like that's how you get that situation because people are having babies with people that they don't plan on being with forever.
Man.
And that's the reason why these kids are growing up confused because you got men coming in and out the house. You'll be lucky to meet a good man. Or you'll be lucky to meet a good woman because there's single dads out there too. You'll be lucky to meet a good woman or a good man who respects your child, respects the child's other parent, and is willing also to put up with the situation at hand. You know,
that's why you got so many baby daddy, baby mama, my baby
you got
daddy,
girls
my baby
out
mama.
Here really just searching for it. They ain't searching for no husband. They're looking for a baby dad.
Bro.
They saying, I want a baby dad. Like, I don't want a husband. I don't want to be a wife.
But then they want a guy to come in later in life and just clean up after the last dude. The last dudes.
Yeah, and that's
crazy.
The problem. And then you got situations where girls want to change over when they get older. And in some senses, it might be too late. And in some senses, they so traumatized because they've been living in such a broad way.
That they won't even accept the dude that's good for them.
Exactly.
Or they think that the way that they was living was the right way.
And I'm not saying that it doesn't work because, you know, it's dudes that will accept that. It's women that will accept that. I've seen it. You know what I mean?
And it works sometimes,
and it definitely works. And it works because that's when they find a genuine relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, most of the people, when they do that and they have a kid and they meet a person, the next person that they meet and that they actually connect with is because of the connection. It's not because of what they're doing in the bedroom.
Exactly.
I feel like the bedroom is like the last step. I mean, the bedroom is going to be better either way.
Yeah.
Because if a person is really not into it, they're not doing all the necessary things to make you get to a point of an orgasm.
Exactly.
Your orgasm comes just as much from your mental as it does from bodily action.
And girls especially, their comfortability is huge when it comes to orgasms and stuff like that. If you're not comfortable to do, you just sleeping with him just off the first date, first week, of course you're not going to, you might not reach that point. It's going to be less likely for you to reach that point because your comfortability is number one when it comes to sex. That's number one for girls. Same
thing with guys though, because nigga, we get soft, bro. We won't get hard for a girl that we not feeling.
No.
You know, and it's a rarity. Like girls be like, dudes get hard for like it's really men out here who won't get hard if they not feeling you. If it's a smell,
I have to have a connection. At the point in my life that I'm at, I have to have a connection, and that's how we should be raised. I only grew up being able to F any girl and was doing that because of the way I was raised. I had sex young with a girl that I didn't really like, and then I started. It's a cycle. That's how it continues. But I was lucky. That's why I say we're anomalies. A lot of people are our age and older and still stuck in that same cycle. But
I feel
we were able to break out of it.
That comes from the accessibility to porn, bro. Or accessibility to just shit, period.
Yeah.
I feel like because now they can you can see a naked woman. Like, bro, do you remember sneaking around trying to see a titty?
Yeah.
When you was like 6, bro,
Yeah,
or 7 or 8, 9,
facts.
10, like we weren't. It wasn't as accessible to see
It's
a
very
girl's body
accessible.
part.
Yeah,
like you
now
was the
it's
man.
crazy.
Now you know what a girl's body.
You got
look
dudes
like.
that's virgins up until they 28 because there's so much porn. They get addicted to porn. They don't even care to have a girl.
Exactly.
Or a girl isn't. It's dudes out here that they get so addicted to porn, they think real life is supposed to be like that. So when they come in contact with a real woman, they can't even get hard.
And they sex
before they ever
terrible.
had sex.
And they sex end up being terrible because they don't know how to. They think that, and then they don't know the signs of a girl climaxing, bro. They don't even realize when she's climaxing because she's not screaming like she is on porn.
Man,
or she's not shaking like she is. I'm serious.
I remember those days, though. That's why I'm laughing. Because,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because the exaggeration on porn is a lot different from a woman who's actually climaxing. Mm-hmm. And that's a reason why men be so unsure if they really doing their thing or not. And you got men who are becoming serial fuckers.
Nah, facts.
Because they're like, bro, we're not supposed to ejaculate that much.
No, bro.
We're not supposed to ejaculate every
Holding
day.
it in and then sharing it with the one you love is what you are supposed to do.
You're supposed to be a virgin until you meet that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now, is that reality of the world no more? Probably not. But It's just like, yo, I read a stat the other day that 50% of men are still virgins from the age 18 to 20.
Oh, wow.
But the perception of the world will say different.
Yeah.
But do you know the stat of girls that's virgins?
What?
14 to 16, 50% have already lost their virginity.
Wow.
So that tells you right there the perception and because there's more women than guys anyway in the world. And then on top of that, they're losing their virginity at a lower rate. And
much lower rate.
Unfortunately, it comes from a lot of sexual assault and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, it's like you got all of this
stuff that's out here
that's making them feel like they have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's a girl's value if her vagina's not lit? And that's why coming back to the Young Miami thing. You can't sit up here and talk, or Cardi B. You can't sit up here and talk about these type of things and then say, "Yo, I don't want my daughter to be like that."
Yeah.
You know, and I get it because what you do, that's your life and that's your freedom, and you naturally want your kids to be better than you. But the chances of them actually being just like you are a lot more higher. And you know,
especially with something that's so influential like that, like ideas like that are so.
And she made great music too, by the way.
Yeah, like love her music, but it's just like when you're preaching about one thing and doing another, it's like it's only gonna go so far because you're contradicting yourself. You're contradicting yourself. You have to lead by example. That's what we need more of in our communities. Leaders. More leaders, people that's going to step outside the norm and say, nah, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody hates the stereotypical my brother guy. But that guy is stepping outside the norm and doing things differently.
But see,
it needs to be more.
The thing is though, they're saying like, yo, bro, we didn't ask to be role models.
Yeah. But when
so
you
can
have
you
a
blame
kid,
yeah.
When you have a kid, it doesn't matter what you ask
it's your
for.
Responsibility.
It's your responsibility to be a role model. And but the thing is, we shouldn't even have to wait till you have a kid
to do that.
We should have people in our communities that we can look up to, not just parents, but parents also, that we can say, oh, yeah, I want to live like that. That's a good way to live. Like, that's a right way to live. We don't look up to the people that, I didn't look up to a lot of people growing up and say, oh, I want to live like that, because it never led to anything except desperation and struggling. See, the role models that I looked up to, or the role models that I had to look up to growing up, I didn't have that many. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I'm an anomaly, because it's not to boost myself up or anything, but I had to make the way I think. No one was telling me to do it. No one told me to think outside the box or think differently than others. I just did it because that's how my mind has worked. I was blessed enough to be able to think like that. But a lot of people can't think like that, and they're going to follow what they see and hear, especially in pop culture. And it's getting worse by the day. So that's why it's more important now than ever for us to be leaders. We are the generation that should be leaders. And I truly believe that, because we can still affect the young minds that are growing up. The 18-year-olds right now, the 16-year-olds, they still look at us like, oh, we want to be like them. So if we're engaging in all this killing and baby mama, baby daddy situationship shit, what do you think they're gonna follow? No, that's not what needs to be going on.
So, me personally, I disagree with Shorty's poem. I mean, she's super talented. You know, I love poetry, and I love the fact that she was able to express that, because, you know, your freedom of expression is always the greatest deal of it all. But I feel like that mindset itself is the poison that's being fed. And
yeah, what she said at the end kind of stuck out to me, because I was like, I don't know about that. Like, yeah, it was fire, but it's like, still though, nah, like, no, don't just give that up, because that is, people don't think of it like that, but it's not just a sexual thing.
It's like it's a contradiction. Like she just said, and you DM me late at night saying, "Kira, I did everything right." Like almost like, what did I do wrong in the bedroom? Well, the wrong came in the bedroom when there was no connection, and that's the reason why and like women, like no man can, like a man, like I was saying before, I was watching the 85 South show and Jody Breeze was on there. He was talking about the Keke Palmer situation, and he was talking about how a man could fuck a woman to act right. That's not true. Even Carlos was like, man, that's just not true.
Because all you're going to have to do is you have to keep fucking her that same way, or else she's never going to act right. And even then, she'll probably still end up fucking another guy. Like, she doesn't owe you any loyalty besides the sex. And even then, she still don't owe you that, because if she's looking at it with that mindset, sex is just sex. It don't matter.
Exactly.
No, that's not true. Sex is a gateway to someone's soul. That is, you might not believe this, but this is true. This is why women get, you have sex with them and they emotionally get attached like that, and they start asking, what are we? It's because there is an emotional attachment attached to sex. That's why you are not supposed to give up your body to just anybody. It's supposed to be someone you share a connection with, and someone you feel like you can genuinely see yourself being with. That's how.
That's pretty much what everybody gonna end up saying. But in reality, you know, the older you get, and the more you begin to get in a relationship with a person, and you see the connect. Because honestly, me being with my girl now, I didn't really realize the connection that we had until we went and had sex. You know, because everything was clicking on all cylinders. Like me and her were like best, and we still are like best friends. Like I could tell her anything in the world. And the sex clicked automatically. Like I didn't even need to, you know, of course, I did my big one. But
and it made it stronger.
Yeah.
It just boosted everything. It just made it,
Yeah, it almost fell in line with what everything was supposed to be either way.
And the thing is, because of your connection, there was no way it wasn't going to.
Exactly. Because
that's the thing that y'all don't realize.
And then also, you niggas don't know how to role play. Because that's the reason why it seemed like that. Because a nigga's not into you, so a nigga's not going to take his time with you. I keep saying nigga, but hey, a brother not going to take his time with you. He not going to take his time with you if he really don't care about you. He not going to sit there and rub your feet, kiss you, and you know, and play with you.
He just wants to stick it in and get his nut.
He wants to make a man that really care about you and love you, or a woman that really care about you and love you, fellas, because it's not just about all the women. They're going to take their time with you, and they're going to make sure you get yours, because they want to see you at your highest peak and at your highest pleasure. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's called a person caring about you. So, yeah, I agree with Shorty. I just don't think that's the vibe. I don't, and a lot of girls got that mindset now. And
it's because we're normalizing it, bro. We're normalizing the fact that a hookup could just be a hookup. Oh, we could just have fun.
Yeah, it's the sneaky link era.
It's the sneaky link era, yeah, the situationship era. Like, yeah, we could just fucking never, and feelings won't get attached. Well, how does that always end up? Feelings getting attached every single time. Like, it never fails, bro. I've seen it on my dang on Facebook a million times. Like, it always ends up the same way, and the people either end up hating each other, or they end up arguing, or they end up calling each other exes when they was never even together and still be fucking. And then they messing up their next relationship because of that. This is not the way this is supposed to go. It's meant to be, and a lot of us are Christian. That's the thing, that it don't really make sense. Y'all, if you read the Bible, it will tell you exactly how it's supposed to be. I'm not even a Christian, but he's a Christian, and most of my friends around me are Christian. I grew up a Christian. The Bible will tell you that's exactly how it's supposed to be.
It's a fact.
It's a man and a woman is supposed to have a connection before they do that. You're not supposed to lose your. That's why they say you're not supposed to lose your virginity until after marriage, because you will. By marriage, you're definitely going to have a connection. That's how it's supposed to be. You think it's just we could just fucking get it out the way, but I'm still a Christian though. You know what I'm saying? I want a real connection though, but I also just want to fuck. What? You're contradicting your own ideas. Do you see? You're supposed to have a connection first before you do these things, and that's why things are ending up baby mama, baby daddy situationship. So I advise you just try to be more mindful and be more careful about who you select to have sex with, men and women, and try to form a genuine bond and connection with them before. And I promise you, it will be 100 times better when you get yours.
And realize every spirit isn't meant to be connected, and that's the reason why a lot of spirits become chaotic. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why you ain't been able to sleep in your skin or been at peace. You ain't been able to be at peace because you're in a chaotic mindset, and your soul is, it's just unsettled right now. And that's
letting different energies into your body all the time,
and it's not connecting.
And it's not even no connection. You can't do that. It's not, you letting people, that's a form of energy going into your body. When you're having sex with somebody, whether you realize it or not, whether they nutting you or not, that's a form of energy going inside of your body every time you do that. So the more energies you keep allowing to come into you and keep saying, nah, it's all right, the more chaotic your spirit and your energy is going to be on a daily basis. The more confused and jumbled your life is going to be. That's why so many of us out here, millennials specifically, are confused because we don't know what we're going to do in our life because we don't have clear heads to think. We're doing too many things at one time. We're comparing. We're letting people get our energy that don't deserve it. So stop letting people take your energy. Stop letting people get your energy. Stop giving your energy away to people that do not deserve it. Find somebody that's worth your time. It might take a while. Truly, it might take a while, but when you find that person, man, it's worth the wait. Because you can do it as much as you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can do it as much as you want to. I don't know if I doing it all the time, but you can do it as much as you want to. And it will feel 10 times better if you do it 10 times in a row than doing it once a month with some random person. And doing it with a person that you actually have a connection with or you actually like and love and care about. And you want to see them win. Like, it's just a different type of, it's different, bro. And ever since I've experienced it, I can't have nothing else. Truthfully, like I said, like my thing won't get hard for any woman. Like, she could be the baddest joint. You know what I'm saying? She could have the fattest ass, the biggest titty. It won't matter. Because if I don't have a connection with her first, nothing's gonna happen. I can't enjoy it unless that I experience that. So just try it at least. You know what I'm saying? Just try it. I advise you to at least try making a genuine connection with somebody. And I promise you, once you experience it, don't have sex with them first. Don't first few link-ups. No. Actually establish a connection with them and then do it once you feel like you established the connection. You know this person. You know what I'm saying? To a good extent. And you care about them. You want to see them. When you genuinely care about them as a person, not just a romantic partner. When you put it in, you're going to be like, oh my God. Well, I don't know what I was missing. You're not going to be able to be the same after that. I promise you. You're not going to want any regular joint. You're going to want a connection. It'll change your life, man. I'm telling you. It'll change minds. It changed mine. Man, it's different. But yeah.
All right, man. Final thoughts, man, on the night, man, before we close up.
Yeah, that was a good night. That was definitely a good conversation.
What's your song of the week if you have one?
Song of the week right now will probably be Safe 2 by V's. That's what I've been on lately. V's album was fire too. Let me just add that in there real quick.
The Babyface Ray album was too. The Summer Is Mine. That was a fire album. If you haven't listened to it,
I didn't listen to that. Oh yeah, I gotta get on that. Sure.
Terrell just texted me back too. He said it's all good.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, man. And my song of the week, I'ma definitely. I got two songs, but I'm gonna go. My flashback of the week, I'm gonna go Drake 9. because that song is like from another planet. I don't know what it is. I've been listening to it lately, and that song has been amazing. So maybe we could get a little bit of it on the outro or something. But like I said, the Babyface Ray, The Summer Is Mine, Lil Tyler Flow by Babyface Ray. That's what I've been on. Detroit been taking over. Like I said, it's been kind of a dry spell in hip hop, but these Detroit guys, they've been real consistent, and they've been having the movement for a minute, you know. So yeah, man, that's a wrap for the first episode of In the Mix, and we'll see y'all soon, man. Holla at your boy, and you can follow me at Junieville on Instagram and Twitter.
You can follow me at DameX316 on Instagram. You can follow me at DameX316 on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
We out.
My moment getting closer, closer than I think it is. Just turned 21 for my dogs, I'ma drink to this. People moving funny, I just act like I don't peep the shit. Don't let them get control and feed the persona they think he is. My bro just had a baby and still can't believe the shit. We was just young playing ball in the street and shit. Since we was young and up and coming, knew you be the shit. Graduate, a father, glad I got to see the shit. Lately I've been going through some controversy. People lies trying to break the bonds up, saying anything they can just to hurt me. They come smile in my face with their palms up, arms open, I'm passport, beyond focus. 0 tenths on the Jeep, moving like the POTUS. Learn not to trust people past their eyelids, cause even in their eyes you can't see the motives. Only real truth lie in the heart. Shorty wasn't fucking with me before I had to push the start. No, I don't love you, baby, I just had to play the part. When I'm feeling pain, I just mold it into art.